Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm sharing an art haul worth $2,200 in total. I can't believe I spent this much, but it's a once in a few years kind of shopping spree for me, so here I go. We're covering a variety of things, different mediums, working surfaces, some must-have essentials that every artist needs, and even a few works by other artists. I have a question for you. What are the top 3 most expensive items from this haul? Write your guesses in the comments below. Okay, so the package just arrived on time for this recording. I have recorded some of the materials already. I have to take them out and start using them. But before starting off with the brushes, I bought this from Namos. I forgot their name, but it is an artist roll. I have done a travel art kit essential video before where I showed this, but yeah, I haven't been using it. I just put all these things inside for that video. So if you'd like to look into that, please do. And first of all, we are starting with these brushes. They are from Rosemary and Cole. They are brushes. Let me get my paints. So I'd quite like to show you how they are like. I think I'll use this ultramarine blue. So this travel brush comes in these 3 sizes. Look at that extremely beautiful fine point. So they call this the eradicator. Yeah, I guess you can kind of scrub in when you do paint. So I'm going to start using these. I'm wetting it. So I'm using the big brush. I don't know how much of these art materials art supplies materials I could record today, but I'll try to do my best to show you all of it. Very nice. It holds a lot of water as well. Let's see how this can scrub off. Very nice. I love it. One of the reasons why I just didn't have like a good travel brush was because they didn't come with a fine point. I did have these travel brushes with these tips. So I ended up wanting to take my regular use paint brushes with me, but they'll have to have those like caps that it came with. But these could be my favorites because it comes with the caps. That'll be quite lovely. So I'll have all the links to these materials at the bottom. So that's the Rosemary and Co travel brushes. I'm going to share with you the other brushes that I got. So unfortunately, I've unboxed this a few days ago. Next one is something that my parents got me for my birthday gift. So it's Emily Hughes Craftamo 7-piece artist brush set by Emily Hughes. She's an artist that I've been following on YouTube, and I really love her artwork, and I wanted to kind of try out these brushes. I was looking for something that I could use for gouache because, as I mentioned, gouache is something relatively new for me. And I do have few Princeton brushes that I use for gouache, but I'm not really loving it too much at the moment, so I thought these would be a lovely thing to get. So I like to show you what it's like inside. I'll take care of the garbage later. Sorry, thank you. Okay, so let's open this. You open it that way. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh my god. I love this rabbit that she painted. Emily Hughes. Lovely. I don't know why I'm smelling things, but Ooh, look at that. Pretty. Painting now. Maybe I'll use these with my gouache that I have. Maybe I'll do it another day. Or maybe I will do it now. That one. Oh, that's strange. That one didn't come with a cover. Ooh, I'm so excited. It's the Emily Hughes Craftamo 7-piece artist brush set. And they just look so lovely. They were so pretty. And when I opened it, it came with her artwork right here. And the caps. One was missing, but that's not a problem for me. Let's do a quick run through of these brushes. I'm going to put this Holbein gouache, ash green. I kind of love this color. I love the feel of it. But I'm gonna go beautiful. I like the big handle of it too. Let's see how that one goes. When I use gouache, I tend to use not much water and use it like to show the dry brush like marks. So this is a really good size. I do think I'll probably end up using this size the most. I'm beginning to, I normally use round brushes a lot for my watercolor portraits, but there's something really lovely about flat brushes that I've just realized in the past couple of months. After going to Anya Devine, the Sky Portrait Artist finalist, her workshop in Edinburgh, I just started loving it even more. Okay, and then I'm going to get into the round brushes. I really like using this tip. I mean, look at that. You can get really fine lines. So excited to use this. I'm definitely gonna be using it. Just like the feel. I've used for my for my gouache, I've been using the Princeton, I forgot what it was called, but the Princeton Velvet Touch series, but I don't know, the hair got really, like, it started losing its point. Look at that. Ah, lovely. Okay, I'm definitely going to be using this. Yeah, it's sold out right now. I was just looking back at how much it was because my parents got it for me, but I was like, wow, it's sold out. So, lovely set. Really recommend it. And I will be using this. The next brush set is Nick Elm brush set from Rosemary & Co. This is an oil brush set, and I originally started working with oils, and then I ended up with using watercolor in 2020 onwards because of a cat I welcomed to the house at the time, and also my son was born, so I kind of stayed away from oils, but I'm planning to go back starting this year. So I'm really hoping to get into this. He's an amazing artist. That's the reason why I got him, because I kind of thought, oh, I want to paint like him. They're huge. Look at these. Oh my god. Oh, makes me want to paint right now. Look, that's the long filbert. That's a hog filbert. Yes, because I really want to start off my paintings with hogs, because you kind of brush in those paints. So that's the size 16 and then 10. And that is X long filbert again. 10 filbert. And then comes with a fan brush. 37. And then that one, long filbert. But it says series 278. I wonder what that is, but. And then smaller brushes, long flats. So I'm really looking forward to using these. I've got these Dick Blick Wonder Whites because one of my favorite artists, Ali Kavanagh, in her Patreon group, kind of mentioned that she uses these, and she goes with very fine details with these. I'm not really a person who works on details a lot, but I just thought, why don't I give it a shot and see? And she says she just uses these and then eventually they'll wear off when she uses the ampersand clay boards or the aqua boards. So yeah, she tosses them out after every painting or so. But I don't know if I'll be doing that, but I'll try to use these. These look really fine and tip. Let's see how they work. So that's the 30. That's the smallest one. That is a very nice thin point. Let's try the 20. Looks good. Yeah, I quite like to use these for the details of the eyes. So now I'd like to share with you the one paint tube that I got, because I have tons that I need to use. I'm trying to not overdo it anymore, so I'm very careful of what paint tubes I buy because I just got too many, to be honest. But this one caught my eye. It's called the Graphite Gray by Daniel Smith. And again, Ali Kavanagh kind of mentioned about it, so I was very interested from way ago and wanted to give it a shot. I'm gonna use Emily's brush for this. It's quite warm than I thought it would be. That's nice. I tend to buy very cool colors, but it's got a hint of like warmness in this gray. Just a hint. Very nice. Can go very dark too. And it's granulating. Probably mix it in with other colors like Daniel Smith's buff titanium would be kind of cool to see. I love it. Okay, so that's the paint that I've got. So this is the most exciting bit because I was waiting for it all this time, and on top of that, this is a medium that I've not used before, and because I do want to get into oil painting again sometime, maybe in spring or summer when I can actually go out to my balcony and paint, I want to try oil pastels. I want to keep the video in category as much as possible. I'm going to share with you for starting off with oil pastels. So first, I got some fixative. I have heard that just using like a hairspray is the best thing because people seem to have to use so many coats of this on top of their finished artwork with oil pastels in order for it to not come off. But we'll see how that goes. So I've got a fixative. And also, I'm very fussy about, like getting bad stuff on your hands, but I'm sure I'll use my hands to like smudge these oils. So I got this Marvelous Marian Skin Safer. It's like a cream to put on before you start your work. So I've got those. And then of course you need a surface to work on. So I got this Strathmore pastel papers. It comes in different colors. It's already tinted, so that'll be fun to use. And then I assume these are all the extra oil pastels that I've got. My parents got me these oil pastels first for my birthday, which I haven't opened yet because I was waiting for the other sets to arrive. So this is going to be an exciting one. I'd like to kind of swatch all of these out, and I'm thinking that eventually I'll cut up the swatches into small sizes. So I'm gonna get a sheet of that. And then first of all, let's just open this up. Pastel oils. They got a whole lot of sets, but I just thought the portrait set seemed kind of straightforward. But yeah, I was also looking at Paul Rubens oil pastels as well, but kind of thought maybe I'll just start off because I tend to like more French things. So that's all of the colors. And I kind of looked in. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. No wonder it was expensive. Oh my god. This is huge. Oh no, I made a mistake. But it's fine. Oh my god. Oh my god. I hope I use all of these. Oh my god. Okay, so people, be aware of what size you get. Oh my goodness gracious me. This is what I tend to do, like buy wrong sized stuff. It's fine. I'll make use of it. Oh, maybe I should wear the cream. I'll start off with wearing the cream. It smells like peppermint. Wow. I think I put too many of it, but oh well. Maybe that's the point. And I'll need to find a place for these. Okay, so I like to start swatching them. Let's start off with, so these are all the extras that I got. A huge extra it is, but okay, I'm gonna start off with, what color is that? It doesn't even tell you what color it is. Pigment, it has the pigment information, but not the name of it. Well, I can remember. Okay. think the last time I used like oil pastels were like way ago when I was back in like middle school or something. Wow. Okay, I'm going with the violets first because I tend to use a lot of violets. I mean, I can definitely use that. Maybe I'll smudge a bit of it. Let me see. Doesn't say, does it? No. I'll write all the names later. Okay. And then I'll go with the reds. Okay, so next I like to use the smaller portraits small size ones. Okay, white. I don't think this would show as much, but while I was working on the last bit, the camera just got into error, so this is day 2 that I'm recording this. So I wrote all the names of the colors, the oil pastels from Sensei that I used, and yeah, I wrote all the names so you can have a look at those. I don't know what I'll tend to use a lot, but I have a sense that I'll use the violet gray for my portraits, the mummy definitely, chrome orange, green yellow light, as well as the yellow gray. I don't really tend to like the browns, but blue gray, reddish brown gray. I don't use yellow as much. And all of these like warm colors here, and also this Geranian lake light. That could be a really fun one to use just to accentuate some of my portraits that I'll be painting. I love the violet ochre. The permanent intense red I do love, but I don't know, it really reminds me of the quinacridone coral watercolor from Daniel Smith that I really love, so I might use that. I love all these, the cold gray, sky blue, royal blue, English gray, as well as all these colors right here. Especially the rose ochre, I just love that color and I'm looking forward to using it. So next I want to get into the surfaces that I've bought in this art haul, and then I want to go back to showing you more colors, more mediums that I got, because I want to use one of the papers that are in that art haul. This is what I got. It's quite a lot, so let me take you one by one. So first of all, I've got this Sakura sketchbook, sketch notebook. I don't see it being sold as much. I made a mistake. I thought it was gonna be like a white regular sketchbook, but it turns out it's gonna be black. But then I kind of thought, wait a minute, it might be kind of fun to use it with gouache. So this I think would be quite fun, even to use with the iridescent Daniel Smith line as well, or was it pearlescent? I forgot which one it was, but it shows with all these, even with a black paper. And Coliro colors that I got from Germany, which are metallic pearl colors, would react with this, would show up quite nicely. So I'm looking forward to using this. Next, I've also mentioned this in my essential video. but this is the Bao Hong Academy Watercolor Paper Pad. And yeah, I just think it reacts very closely to Arches watercolor paper, so I got this. It's more reasonable to get, and I buy it from Temu. So this is the one that I'll be using to test out what I'll be kind of having fun with next. So this one has been one of my go-tos when I don't want to use like too much of a nice paper. You know, when you get that feeling of, I don't know if this will turn out right, or you kind of want to test things out still. I tend to go to this paper, so then I feel free to kind of explore enough and not be too careful with the surface that I'm using. So this is the Academy Watercolor Paper Pad. And I'll just take off the first layer. I'll be working on this surface real soon once I introduce you to all of the things that I got. The ampersand aqua board. So I got it in 2 different sizes, and what they are is there's a panel. They do come in like really like a thicker panel as well, which then you can just hang on directly. With watercolor, what tends to happen is that you'll have to frame it behind glass, and these ampersand boards say that they're archival and you can just hang them on directly on like the walls and it'll be fine. So they're a bit on the pricey side, I think, compared to just watercolor paper, but maybe for the archivalness of it, maybe it's worth it. So I got 2. I have tried the ampersand clay board. These are back from, I think, 2023. So I'm kind of like, yeah, I don't want to look back at it, but I was still testing out with the surface here. And basically, what I would say is they react very closely to Yupo paper. So I have a Yupo paper, like a video that I talk about Yupo paper and how I tend to use it. But yeah, they're quite fun. So, but I heard the aqua board kind of reacts differently, so we'll see how that goes. I have joined the Ali Kavanagh's Patreon group before, and I have a video of that as well, how I felt through that experience. But she recommends the ampersand, and she works in really a lot of details, and that's where she uses the brush that I bought in this art haul too, the Wonder Whites. So I'm looking forward to using this, but who knows, it might not work with the style of my art. So this is the Hanamule watercolor block, hot pressed with 10 sheets, and they're quite expensive, but I bought this before I left Germany and they come in that paper, so I'll have to cut this and start using it. But I normally tend to buy the 150 pounds, I think, or the 300 GCM, but this time I bought 640 GSM because Alpaif, is that how you say his name? He's an artist on YouTube that I've been following for years, and basically he recommended this for oil painting, and I really want to get back to oil painting after 4 years of gap, so we'll see how that goes as well. Okay, so let me show you this big sized thing. I do believe it's the watercolor paper, and sorry for my terrible outfit today. I'm just trying to be kind of relaxed and casual. So, yeah, I don't look my best, but yeah, it's just one of those days. So this is the first time I've bought from Blick for paper because I wanted to test it out to see whether they will pack it nicely, as I remember back in Germany, because I lived in Germany, so I would buy from a certain place. So this is my first time to check out to see what things are like in the States. And at the end of the day, I thought if they don't pack it very well, then I could always go directly to the shop in Seattle, but they seem to be quite good. The thing that I'm curious to see is whether the papers have dents, like if they're dented, or one time from Jackson's, I did have a case where the papers had a bit of like black smudge on them, and you don't want that because there's no way you can scrub those off nicely, and they get to a client and you don't want that. So I did mention it to Jackson's Art, and they basically had a great customer support, so I'm not complaining at all. They sent me better paper with no smudges at all. And so I got the sheets. This is what I tend to buy. They are sheets, imperial size, 2 by 30. So that's the size that I tend to buy in sheets, and I get it in bulks of 10. So they sent me 10 of the Varnishes hot press paper because that's what I love to use. And I bought it in 10 because so then it's cheaper. And yeah, they look very good. None of them are smudged with like black, but I'll have to keep it back in these box so then they don't go bad, and you don't want to scratch them as much. And I also got 10 sheets of the Winsor & Newton hot press 300 GCM. So it says 22 by 30. It's the same size. They call it the imperial size, but I got these and they're 56 centimeters, 76. So yeah, they look pretty good. So no problem with that. I'm going to place it back in. How do I use them? I typically use them in full sheets on a stretcher that I have right here. And also I would cut them in half and use it as 1 painting, 2 painting, or even I can even go smaller because I have those stretchers that you can use and place them on there. So that kind of works for me. But for convenience purposes and just to be like, oh, I don't want to stretch it or put tape on it and work on it, then you have the option of going with the blocks. So that's what I do when I don't want to fuss too much and I get quickly into the painting. I got quite a lot. So I have got 15 Ecoline watercolor, a liquid watercolor they're called. I bought like each colors on its own individually. So we'll test these out. And then at the end, I'll write down what the colors are. Yeah, I'll use the Bao paper. I will eventually, I'll make a drop for each, and then I'll kind of put water from the opposite end so it kind of flows. This brush is really pretty. I got it from Jasper. I'll have a link to his Instagram. I really love it. It's like handmade and it's so pretty. It's one of those that I don't tend to use all the time because they just feel precious, but they're lovely to kind of use at times to make you feel better. I don't know how to say it, but anyways, okay, so and Jasper was kind of fun to buy from. So that's the first. Maybe I'll have a bit more. So these watercolor, that's the 661. These watercolors, watercolor liquids are actually basically inks, I would say. They're not watercolor, so which means that when they are not light fast. So if you want to work on a piece that will be in like close enough to a light, to the sun, then you probably don't want to use these. But I'm kind of looking forward to using them for works that will be in my sketchbook, or works that I might be creating like an art print for. So that's 533. And then we're going into the greens. I'm not a huge fan of greens, but I thought it's worth it to get some at least. That looks like a phthalo green, and that's so pretty. And that one too. So how I learned about these watercolor, like liquid watercolor, was from an artist on Domestika. I kind of try to learn from different artists to see what I kind of enjoy. It's a way of experimenting. I guess I just love learning new things because you can always learn something from somebody. Okay, that color is not as intense, so I'm gonna put one more drop. Maybe I need to shake them. Let's see. Beautiful color right there. Very intense. That's the thing. Watercolors don't give that much of like intensity compared to these watercolor like liquids. That's a very subtle color. But could definitely use for portraits. I think that's the yellow ochre. A good color to use for portraits, I would say. That's a nice earthy tone. Ooh, I love that. That has like a reddish earth tone. Whoops, I almost dropped that one. Thank you. I might try to fit in the last one at the bottom. Oops, I did it the wrong way. No, I don't think there's enough space, so I'll just go here. Nice gray. All the colors that I got from the Ecoline liquid watercolor, I'll be writing the number and the name of each one after it dries. Sorry, there are people, like there are neighbors kind of doing their leaf blowing, so you might hear the sound. But I've written all the numbers and the names of each of these Ecoline liquid watercolor, and I'm especially loving this indigo and the bronze green. maybe for like a backdrop, as well as the fuchsia, these three, because fuchsia, you can't get that intense color with watercolor, so I'll be enjoying using that. Apricot, I'm not too sure. I just don't tend to really use too much of oranges, but maybe when it was subtle with more water, I might be using that. Pink, beige, yellow, ochre, sepia, burnt sienna, mahogany, and the warm gray. I'm definitely using these for my portraits because they have that earthy, warm tone in them. And the mahogany is so rich. It's like, it reminds me of wine. And I love that richness of that color. Urchel violet, I tend to really love purples, but somehow this violet didn't really, I don't know, maybe it's too intense for me, but I might mix it in with a bit of like the apricot or something to, or even the yellow ochre to kind of balance it out and neutralize or kind of desaturate the color a bit to make it more suiting for my taste, but we'll see. So that's all the colors. I like to get into the varnishes that I use. So I've explained this, the Dorland's wax medium, in my essentials video, and I use this for like gouache, and this is a pin batch actually, but like gouache paintings like this where, you know, because this is a pin batch, it'll be probably put onto something like a bag and maybe water might get on it. I would use this when I don't want the water to destroy the artwork. So some of the commissions that I painted that was going to be placed near water, like the toilet or the bathroom or nearby a kitchen, I would use this even with watercolor and it wouldn't smudge at all. So I love it. But typically what I do use for my watercolor paintings are varnishes, and this is one I got for this art haul, although something, I don't know what happened there. But I used to, this is not something that I've used before. I've used the Schminke UV spray before, and I used to use that throughout my whole painting. So after a week or two, or when it was sunny outside, I would spray the UV archival Schminke spray all over my painting, maybe like 2 coats, and then let it dry, and then I would send it out to whoever bought it. But Ellie Kavanagh mentioned that she uses this Krylon, and this is more typical in the States, and now that I am living in the States and not in Germany, I bought this because I wanted to give it a shot. So it's a Krylon UV archival varnish, and it's matte. So I'm really looking forward to using this because I did a light fast testness. I probably mentioned this a couple times, but even using the Schminke UV spray, it didn't make a difference with the one that didn't have a UV spray. And I placed all these paints outside where it got direct sunlight, but it didn't make a difference. So I'm looking forward to doing a light fastness test with this and see if there's any difference between those paint that didn't have this and the ones that did. So yeah, I'll be giving those results sometime. But in Washington State, because there tends to be a lot of cloudy days, I don't know how this light fast testness will be good, but tune in for that. So this is something I got. I'm really excited to use it. Gray Matters paper palette by Jack Richardson. I didn't think it was going to be this small. I thought it'll be a bit bigger. I'm really bad with sizes. I know I could read the description, but I tend not to. But I got this because I wanted something to put my oil paint on and see like the color, actual color, because it's better when it's placed against a gray. I'm looking forward to using that. I do want to get back to oil painting sometime this year. Thing I got was this, a portrait companion by Chris Hong. So I kind of saw that she was releasing this book, so I bought it on through Instagram. You could check her out on Instagram. It came with this lovely business card of hers. And also, I think it's a fine art print. I don't know, but it's lovely. Like, I was amazed that she included that. So she just released this, so I got it as an early bird kind of thing. So I think that's why it came with all those things. And it's just lovely seeing how different artists work with different mediums. She typically uses like, I think, like colored pencils with watercolor and sometimes gouache. I think I even saw some gouache. So it's really lovely seeing this. There is like her artwork in the first pages, and at the end she tells you, yeah, explaining her process. So yeah, I'm looking forward to having a deep read into this. Okay, so next, I believe these are the archival sheets. So not fancy, maybe not even fun for you to look at, but let's see. But these are some of the things I need for my art business. So what they are, I don't want to take them all out, but they are 10 sheets. So what they are these kind of plastic sleeve, but they are archival, which means that you can have them inside. So once my commissions or paintings are sold, I put them in the sleeve, and then there's like this tape. So you'll peel that off and then put it like that, tape it, and then I wrap all the nice things around it. And basically how this is different from the other plastic sleeves is that they're archival, which means that they don't damage the paper. And you know, I'm sure when buyers like buy these paintings, they don't get framed so quickly, and they might even end up in these sleeves for a bit of time until they get a house to live in. So these ensure that they don't go bad. So that's one thing. I'll put this back later. And it's the same with this. I got 10 of these archival sheets, and it says 12 by 18, 10 pack. So I buy them in packs. So there's one of those too. I think this is the big size. Yeah, it says 22 by 30, 10 packs. So that's another one. I don't think I'll have to open it because they're pretty much the same thing. A mall stick. This is what I got from Rosemary & Co. in this art haul, and I haven't used it obviously, and I'm looking forward to using it. I am thinking about going back to oil painting sometime in the spring, summer, so I'll be using that. It's basically you place it on a painting and you don't have to touch the surface, but you can place it here and then paint without touching the painting. So I'm looking forward to using that. You can also make it smaller, so then I think you can take it outside if you're doing plain painting or have to go to a different studio to paint. So that's something I'm really looking forward to. From Rosemary & Co. and it's like it has a leather at the top and it wasn't so pricey, so yeah, I'm looking forward to using that. And this is the Epson Perfection V600 photo scanner, and sorry I had to unpack it, but I did try to make a video where I unpacked it, but it kind of, I don't know, it didn't turn out so nicely. It was quite dark. I wanted to get it started because I had to scan some artworks that I commissioned and whatnot. So yeah, because I tend to scan everything before I send it off, so then I have a record of a nice photo of the painting. So this is what I use. I used to use a Canon MG 3600 series, but that was like a printer scanner. And what the good thing about that was that it can just send off with Bluetooth the images, but then this is just amazing. I've seen the quality difference. I'll have two photos you can compare, especially the neon colors. Some scanners don't get those neon colors quite correctly, but this one does. It's really good. I've seen a lot of other artists like have this and they make art prints, which I'm thinking about making in the future. So I got this. This was a gift from my partner and I really love it. The only downside is that it doesn't have that Bluetooth thing where you can just send off, so you need to connect it, plug it into your computer, and of course plug it into the socket for electricity, and you use it. But it's been lovely, and it comes like, it holds up here, goes down. I don't know if other scanners did that, but mine before didn't do that, so that's been lovely. It is a game changer, so I definitely recommend it for you. This is something special. I've already opened it a bit earlier because I couldn't wait. It was for my birthday gift, and once I got it, I just wanted to open it without the camera on because there's something quite nice about keeping it to yourself, so sorry for that, but I'll share with you what I did get. This is one of my inspirations, the reason why I started watercolor, and it's a painting by the finalist in the Sky Portrait Artist of the Year 2014, Anya Devine, the watercolor artist, and it's a self-portrait of her, and it's on Yupo paper, and I just loved it. I loved the intensity of it. There was her eyes look so real here, and I wanted to get it, so I bought it from Anya, and she does these kind of moments when she sells her things. If you're on her newsletter, she'll tell you when she'll have these, and she'll post them on her Facebook, and then you'll comment sold, and then it's sold to you, and she'll send it to you. So that's really lovely. It's some of these kind of, inspirations that it's really nice to have on your wall, so you can look at it and be inspired and have like momentum to keep going, and this is one of it. I just love her. She's my sensei. I went to her summer school, so check that video out if you haven't, and I will be doing an interview with her that will be coming up soon on my podcast, and I'll have a link to that as well at the bottom. So the last thing I want to share is this easel. It's the Mabef M18. It's huge. I did try to record a video where I set it up, but yeah, ChatGPT told me that it typically takes like an hour, like 45 minutes to an hour to set this thing up, but it took me 2 hours. But this is new. I bought it in Munich, Germany, because I thought it would be a bit less expensive than getting it here in the United States. So I brought it with me, but I never used it for months, and I unpackaged it here in the US, and yeah, I put them together finally. So it's up, and the great thing about it is you loosen up the back and it becomes totally flat. So I thought, as a watercolor artist, I do like to work vertically, but there are times where I want to start off the sketch and everything like while it's laid flat, so that's something good. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to using this easel. I hope I'm not gonna just buy for the sake of buying. I am gonna use these things. So I hope you enjoyed the art haul as much as I did. And yeah, I guess see you in the next one. Okay, take care. Bye bye.